the self-initiated project. Now this form here first, like you did some community service. You did some community service. See this form? You need to write it down. Find someone to help document what you did. Everything is being recorded. Okay? Start putting it down. When you did it, how you did it, the day you did it, it becomes a document for it. You need proof. If you're having to do community service as a judge and you don't get the proof and turn it in, what's going to happen to you? You might go to jail. You might go to juvenile, right? You need to show the proof. The same with the scholarships. They want to see the proof, especially if you're admitted out for a finalist. And then the self-initiated project is page 38. Look at that page. You say, well, I have to come home, I have to take care of my brothers and sisters, I have to work, when am I going to do community service in this? I don't have time, I don't have transportation. Guess what? It's called the self-initiated project. And I had to do this with a lot of my students. They were in the same situation. So what did they do? They had to give their brothers and sisters dinner and clean them up and get them ready and take care of the house. But they had to help with their homework too. So what if I invited other neighbor children to come in once or twice a week and help them with their homework? And made a project, a neighborhood tutoring project, right? You ever thought about that? Was there a neighbor nearby that's alone or older that needs help? Maybe cleaning their yard or painting their house? Or just a plate of food once a week or twice a week? I don't know, it's very hard to cook for one person. Or even feel una familia, or invite to your house for dinner that night, once a week, whatever, right? To join your family. You know what that would mean? And that could be a project? Yes. A very valuable project. Thought maybe there's some young boys in your neighborhood that like to play soccer, or baseball, or whatever. Get in there and play with them. Get a little team, a lot team there in the neighborhood. Mentor them, encourage them about school, help them with their homework. Would that be a great project? Yes. Clean up the neighborhood project. Right there it says, what is the problem? Look around where you live. Is there a problem here? I can make a difference. I can make a change. Is anyone else working on it? What could I do? What could I do to help me? And when you do that, it will have great value. It's not the number of hours. It's the quality of the service. Remember that. It's quality, not quantity. Because the question every student asks me, how many hours do I need? How many? Who can answer? 300. Woo, that's a lot. Anyone else with a number? 100. That sounds like a good number. Now there are some requirements for graduation or for clubs, so many hours. But let's get away from collecting hours. Let's think about quality. How can I make a difference? What happened here to me? How did I invest? How can I share this with someone else? You know what the problem comes when students are doing essays or interviews? They have nothing to share in their essay. They haven't written anything. Right? They didn't write about it. So it's not the quantity, it's the quality. Establishes a life purpose. Helps you to find what you love and what you don't. Build leadership, organizational skills. It helps you choose what you want to do with your life. And then gives students real world experience. Now, if you start doing something you love, and you do it well, you might create a job that never existed before. Yeah. Bill Gates did that. Was Microsoft in existence before? Was Windows in existence before? He created it because he had a dream, and he was going to follow his passion and his dream. What I'm doing now, it's not a job description. It wasn't an application for the job of what I do. I just follow my dream, my passion, and this is before. You create your own job. You're going to research. Now, this is where you can look at careers. BLS.gov, and my next move, you can write that in the front cover of your book if you want. Take and write these in. They're also educators. Put those links right there on the inside of your book. Because I can go and do research careers, occupations. Say I'm interested in animals. Well, if I'm interested in animals, is the only job to be a vet? Or maybe there's some other jobs related to working with animals besides just being a veterinarian. Right? I need to research that. Or I want to be a scientist. Whoa, that's pretty broad, isn't it? What kind of science? In what field, in what area, doing what? So you need to research. And you love science. But what part of science would you love to get in? What area? In doing what? Research, teaching. What is it? Do you take what you love and you begin to research it? It is important to research it and look it up. And then look at search careers. Now these are safe sites or government sites. They don't take your information. They don't send you stuff to sell. They don't, you're not going to share anything. You just go in there and you can just browse. Texas also has sites which counselor teachers have shared with you. But these are good sites in general for students to research about what they like or what maybe they're going to do. It's important. You need experiences. You need research. You need time. You need time to figure it out. And not when you're in college paying big bucks for tuition and you're not sure what you want. Now's the time, early. Okay, you got it down? Okay, the next one, right on these two sites, is called Volunteer Net and United Way. If you go in there and put your zip code in, it will have a list of community service agencies that are looking for people to volunteer. Depending on where you live, though, if you live in a very small community, you might be hard. But it'll give you within 10 miles, 5 miles, it'll give you some ideas of where you might even look for different community service. Research this. Try out different things. But you want to start community service in an area of your interest first. And then maybe experiment with other things and see what you like. And after doing it, you might say, oh, I don't like this. Let me try something else. Right? And you have a chance. You have the chance to do that. Okay, any questions about community service right now? You want to ask? That someone's spinning your head and you're saying, I want to ask a question. You have a question about community service? How many hours do I need? It's quality over quantity. I'm not putting a number. The law, and if they give you anything, also. If they say that anything gives you a letter or a document to prove it, say that, make copies. Not that they won't. But make sure that you're also recording it so you have a clear record from that document. Let me explain to you what happens. If you're selected for say the Gates Living Scholarship or a National Scholarship, they give you a type of verification to prove that you did what you said you did. Don't lie on the application. I'm the football star. I'm the president of the National Honor Society. No, it's a lie. Don't do that, because you have to prove it. Tell the truth on your application. So when it comes to community service, you can add copies of things that they ask for. Usually they ask you for a list of information. Then you might have to come back and document it so you have all the information there to go back to those people, or they will verify it with whatever it needs for verification. But if you don't keep a list, if you don't know what you've done, you need to record it. Why? Because you forget. Time, place, how many hours, what you did, correct? I can't remember what I ate for breakfast 3 days ago. I can't remember what I did last year. You have to do what? Write it down.
Miss June, if they have a sibling who's disabled and like a brother or sister, and mom needs to go to the grocery store, is that community service at home? No.
Community service is not your family. You're supposed to help your family. One boy said, I have a lot of hours of community service. I said, what did you do? Oh, my mother was given a hospital. I took care of her at home. Nope.
Nobody in the family.
Nobody in the abuelita, la tía, la comadre, nadie de la familia. No one from your family. You can count community service. I'm sorry. You're supposed to be there for your family. Any questions about community service? Anyone else? So we need to first plan it, and then we also need to document it. And when you think about a self-initiated project, something of quality. One girl said, a lot of girls getting pregnant at the high school in our community, and I was thinking, what if my mother and I formed a mother-daughter group, like a support group? And then we invited mothers and daughters from the community to the high school. We know most of them already. And we had a support group once a month and invited special speakers to come in, and we could discuss and talk about some of these things that girls need to discuss with their moms. Now, how hard was that project? How many hours was it going to take? Organization, making phone calls, the preparation. But of what great value is it? You see that? Where's the problem community? What can I do to help this? Maybe within your school. You see a problem within your high school, and there's something you can do. Is there a buddy system in your high school when a new student comes in and doesn't know anybody or have a friend? Is there a buddy system in your high school? What did you start on? where when a new student came in, especially someone who was limited English, was afraid, didn't know where to go, that they could have a buddy to help them restart. So, you know how much value that will give to you? And organizing for students to volunteer to be part of it? Wow. At our high school, they had like 200 buses. I said 200 buses in the afternoon. Now you're a new student. Try to get on a bus. I tried to help them. I almost got ran over trying to find. I mean, it's unbelievable. The buses. We had over 5,000 students. Over 200 buses wheeling around that circle, coming in all different times to pick up kids, drop off kids. You're a new kid? You think you're going to miss the bus the first day? Probably. It's scary. So there's all kinds of ideas of what you can do to plan and do community service. A resume. How many resume are ready? What is a resume? A one-page document with your information, your professional, your education experience. You need to have in there all your information. Your grades, your test scores, your leadership, everything, so it's on one page only. I have a document that you need to also include your sports, your clubs, your band. You need to get involved. Did my students have the highest grades? No. The highest test scores? No. But they were well-rounded. They had community service, they had stories, they had service, they had vision, they had my purpose. People wanted to give them money. It's not just about the 4.0. The higher the grades, the better. But it's not just about the grades. You got to know that. They're looking at you wide scope. Look at page 43 and 44. Two very important documents. These documents will help you organize. This first one I call my resume and scholarship application. First of all, it's a resume because you put everything about yourself on one page. And everything every college and scholarship wants to know about you. One page. See that? And then the student activities form is keeping track of all those activities. If you don't write it down, you're going to forget it, right? From the 9th grade, you start recording on that page 43 everything. And you can take this one page, student activities form, and you can use it over and over again to complete many, many scholarships. College application and scholarship application. What do students do? They think of an application, either college or scholarship. They fill it out, they send it in. Guess what they have? Nothing. How long did it take to fill the information out? A long time. Then they get another application and start all over again. Why? Just copy from what you already have and use it over and over again. And that's what you can do with this form. Two very important forms to organize. You say, well, where are all these forms? Look in the back of your book, there's a CD. All these forms are in the back of the book on the CD. For the students' use, not to make copies for all your friends, or for the teachers to make copies for all the students at the high school. It's for you personally to make as many copies as you want. Also, educators, you will have access to all of these forms electronically to work through the save on your online portfolio. Today, we'll be writing in the book. It can be used for college and scholarship applications and to request what? Recommendation letters. Recommendation letters.